This is Financial Straight Talk with Jim Fox.
It is Financial Straight Talk, and we are happy to have you with us. Alongside Mr. Jimmy Fox, he is the founder, president, and investment advisor rep. If you tuned in early, you know exactly what we're talking about. He's the investment advisor representative with Wadadley Financial Group. I'm Kevin McAlpin. Jim and I appreciate you joining us on the show. We hope you're having a great one, and of course, we hope you join us each and every week, same time, same station. We are here with Financial Straight Talk each and every week on your radio. So, Jim, I know you've probably got the sweet tooth like I do, right? You like to dig into the cookies.
Are you saying that I'm rotund?
Well, I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying I know what I am, and I know that
I will tell you, jelly beans.
Yeah.
But neither here nor there. So please continue.
No. Let me ask you this though, too. Since we're talking sweets, jelly beans. What about the conversation hearts around Valentine's weekend? Were you dipping into those a little bit?
Not really.
Okay.
No. I mean, I'm a jelly bean guy, but it has to be Jelly Bellies.
Okay. All right. I'm going to give you some. I'm going to send you a bag. I don't want to promote or endorse any other company, but I'm going to send you a bag of ones that I think it might change your outlook.
Come on, man. I'm not going to turn down sweets. I can promise you that.
There you go. Well, listen, I know a lot of our listeners are fans of Oreos. What about you? You like the double stuffs?
I mean, yeah, but I don't get the appeal, to be honest. So I can eat 2 or 3 of them, and I'm done with those.
Yeah, I hear you. Well,
you that way too?
No, I could probably eat a few more than a couple, but that's. And my wife gets on me too. She goes, "Really? You went to the store? I told you to get bananas and apples, and you came home with double stuffed Oreos." So yeah, I've got the palate of like my 5-year-old daughter. You know that.
That sounds great, man. There's nothing wrong with that.
No doubt. Well, listen, that name double stuffed Oreo, it might make you think you're getting twice the amount of the good stuff in the middle. But years ago, believe it or not, a math class at a New York high school put it to the test and found out that double stuffs fell 7% short of double. So close, but not all the way there. So that label, of course, Jim, is creating expectations. But the reality was a little bit different. And it's kind of like retirement money and taxes. A lot of folks will see one number only to find out taxes take more than they thought, something I know that you deal with quite often for the folks here on the Space Coast.
Yeah, I mean, and here's the funny thing. So there's gross and there's net, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, you've heard that term. There's gross and there's net.
Yep.
And everyone leans into gross, and then they realize, wait, I'm spending net. Exactly. But here's another problem. You also got to take into consideration, if you're over the age of 65, that Medicare is in this story too. And if you make too much money there, or you sell a stock, or you do something, not only do you have to deal with the taxes, now guess what else is going to happen? Now Medicare prices go up. I'll give you a great example. Client the other day gave me a call. She forgot that 2 years ago she did this, apparently, even though I hammered it home over and over again, that her Medicare went from $200 to $600 a month.
Wow.
Why? Because there's all these little silly rules that you got to work through, right? Mm. These are the challenges. So whenever we sit down with people, we try and focus on the end dollar, right? How much money is in your pocket, right? Kind of like earlier when we were talking about on the segment, we were talking about, look, when we go to a store, we're not buying it with Palantir stock. We're buying it with money, right?
Right.
And so it's all about the money that's going to end up in your pocket. I'm embarrassed to say this out loud, that it took us, Kevin, 12, 14 years to really even grasp this concept ourselves, right? And what I mean by that is, how do we communicate it with our clients? Because when I worked for the largest firm on the planet at the time, they're like, you can't even talk about taxes. Don't mention it. Tell them to go see their CPA. But this is a big part of retirement is taxation. And if I make, 100, but I'm only bringing in 72, well, that's not 100, Right. And so it took forever, but finally there's a company called Covisium, and they're just awesome. They created something called tax mapping, right? Mm-hmm. And what it is it's almost like Sesame Street is explaining taxation to you, right? And it's got colors and it's got line, and it's fantastic. Now, here's what's crazy. I tell you that you're going to come in and you're going to see it and you're going to go, you're an idiot. This is still super confusing until you understand what the colors mean. And once you see the colors, you go, oh yeah. I have clients now, because listen, I can't stress this enough. If you become a client of ours, It is with an absolute certainty that we will be using our tax mapping software because it's all about net dollars to your pocket. So we need to understand what these decisions do to the taxes, which impact how much money gets dropped net into your bank account, right? Mm-hmm. So this software that we use, which is absolutely unbelievable, allows us in real time. Think about this, Kevin. So I wasn't a very good pitcher. I was a first baseman, right?
Sure.
But let's say that I decided that I wanted to not be a first baseman. I wanted to become a pitcher. And I go out and I read every book on pitching, every book. And then I go to YouTube and I watch every video I can watch on pitching. Mm. And then the big game comes and I step on the mound for the first time and throw my first pitch. What kind of pitcher am I going to probably be when that happens?
Yeah,
right.
You're not going to last very long out there, right? I don't think.
And who knows? Is it going to be an injury that takes me out because I didn't work up to it? Is it lack of knowledge? There's more than just throwing a ball. Obviously, you need to understand strategy, right? There's all these things. Mm. Why is it that people think that in the last second they can step on the mound and they can make a retirement call and expect it most of the times to be in their best interest? Because that's what they're doing when they say, hey, I'm going to take $7,300 out. Hey, I'm going to take $4,400 out. Hey, I'm going to go on this trip. It cost me $110,000. I'm going to pull this stuff out. See, that's what happens day in and day out in my industry. And people, even scarier than people in my industry, is I've got people who come in and they say, well, that new one big beautiful bill, they gave me that extra $6,000, deduction. That means I can take $6,000 out of my IRA and not pay taxes on it. That's not what it means. Not even close. Like that equates to like $300. But the problem is that the deck is stacked against us. We, as middle-income Americans, the deck is stacked against us. We don't know how to make the right decisions because it's so complex that every decision we make theoretically creates another problem that we have to solve, right? Mm-hmm. And that's why we do what we do. That's why we have the software. I don't want to spend a car payment on tax software a month. To be honest with you, it might be a mortgage payment.
Right.
But why do we do it? Because you deserve to understand what these decisions, what impact they have on your retirement. You deserve that. And if I am going to act as a fiduciary, I need to be able to look at options and tell you the pros and the cons of that decision. Mm-hmm. And we do it every day. Day in, not when you're a new client, not when you're thinking about giving us the money, not only on annual reviews. We do it nonstop. So much so that I've had to teach everybody in my office how to use the software because Jim only has 2 arms.
Right.
And that is what it's all about. Understanding how to make your money work for you. Listen, you can take anything out of this you want. Okay. Here's the reality of it. Most people sell you things. That's what most people do. They sell you things. You buy things hoping that those things are going to be beneficial for you. But in the end, the reality is they just become more things. Mm-hmm. Everything that we do is intentional. Everything that we do has a purpose. Every decision that we make ends with simple ideas. We want to be as tax efficient as possible. We want to make sure that we're not messing up the longevity of your retirement account to where we have to worry about you running out of money. We want to make sure that the investments that we are taking said money from are the correct investments because we don't want to miss opportunity. Nothing we do is by accident. Everything that we do is intentional. The double stuffed Oreos are only 7% more than the normal. That is ridiculous. Or 7%, whatever it is. They're not quite there. I'm not good at math, man. Just give me money.
Yeah.
The end result is this. Ladies and gentlemen, you have busted your butt. You work 40 hours a week for 40 years of your life. I don't want you living on 40% less than you were making while you're working. I want to make this efficient. I want to make this work. I want to help you make better decisions. If that resonates in you and if I feel like I'm the right fit for you, I encourage you, pick up the phone, give us a call. If you think I'm a raving lunatic and you couldn't imagine how horrible it'd be to come into my office, do me a huge favor. pick up the phone and call somebody else, but don't go at this all by yourself. This is about making good decisions. My mom, my dad didn't get this opportunity. That's why we get on air every single day and yell like a bunch of crazy people to get you to understand that we want you to have options and we want you to make better decisions. Pick up the phone, give us a call. Kevin will give you that number one more time. Let's make it happen, Kevin.
Again, it's 321-414-7526. If you're looking at that retirement balance, your 401k balance, and thinking it's all yours, well, of course, think again. We know taxes can certainly take a big bite out of your nest egg. And if you'd like to start planning now when it comes to taxes in retirement, Jim Fox and his team are just a phone call away, and you can get on his calendar right now, again, by dialing 321-414-7526, 321-414-PLAN, or online. It's getfst.com. That's getfst.com. Well, Jim, this hour has zipped right on by.
As usual.
I'm glad to see your blood pressure has come back down to a normal rate. And before we run out of time on this week's show, sir, the floor is once again all yours for the final word.
Thanks, Kevin. Well, guys, every week, Kevin and I say the same thing. We know that you have tons of options when it comes to getting financial information, and we're just honored to be one of those resources. So like you said, if there's anything we can do, pick up the phone, give us a call. We're standing by to help you out. But with all that being said, on behalf of myself and Mr. Kevin Mack, I want to thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time on the Financial Straight Talk.
Thanks for listening to Financial Straight Talk with Jim Fox. To learn more, visit getfst.com.
Insurance products are offered through the insurance business Wadadley Financial Group. Wadadley Financial Group is also an investment advisory practice that offers products and services through Impact Partnership Wealth LLC IPW, a registered investment advisor. IPW does not offer insurance products. The insurance products offered by Wadadley Financial Group are not subject to investment advisor requirements. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This show is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual's situation. Wadadley Financial Group is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during this show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any government agency. The information and opinions contained herein provided by third parties have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by Wadadley Financial Group.